Hi students, this is Miss Woods. I hope everyone is staying safe. These videos are made for your homework that is going to be due on April 10th, which is this upcoming Friday. You will have homework on EDSB. You'll have multiple attempts to complete the homework, but these videos are meant to assist you in all of the homework for April 10th. So let's just jump right into this. So your objective is we're going to identify, name, and draw points, lines, segments, rays, and planes. And we're going to apply basic facts about points, lines, and planes. And just so everyone knows, I'm going to be making 2 videos on this. So this is part 1 of the lesson. So these are going to be the vocabulary terms that we are covering in the next 2 videos. So let's talk about undefined terms. What are considered undefined terms are a point, a line, and a plane. An undefined term does not require a formal definition. These terms can be described. So there is not an exact definition to say what a point is. Most people will describe a point. The same goes with a line and a plane. That is why these are called undefined terms. So, undefined terms. A point, it names a location and has no size. It is represented by a dot. So right here, there's the dot. Now, when you talk about a point, you name it by its capital letter next to it. So this point would be called point P. A line is a straight path that has no thickness and extends forever. This is very important. A line extends forever. Okay? Now a line will always be named by 2 points. So if we look over here, you can see there are 2 points. 2 points make a line. Between any 2 points, there will be a line. The arrows show on the side that this line is extending forever. So the way that we refer to a line is we name it by 2 points. So in this case, you see a point X and point Y. So you can call the line XY or line YX. And when I am talking about a line, I use the 2 points and then I draw a line above it. That's how we know that these 2 points create a line. You also can name a line by the italicized letter next to it. That means that is the name of the line. So this here is called line L. So we know the name is line L, and we know the 2 points that make the line are XY, or we could say YX. A plane is a flat surface that has no thickness and extends forever. So for now, I want you to know that a plane is always going to be 2-dimensional. So the way that you describe a plane is by 3 points. 3 points make a plane. 2 points make a line, and 1 point just represents a single point. So when I am describing a plane, I can either call it plane A, B, and C, because 3 points make a plane. Or I can see here there's an italicized letter. That is the name of the whole plane. So I could call it plane R, which is the name of the whole plane, or I can name it by 3 points, which is plane A, B, and C. So if I want to name this line, I want to give it a name. Notice there's no italicized letter next to it. So I need to name this line by its 2 points. So I'm actually going to draw it out for you. I could call this line RS, or I could call the line SR. Because it's a line, I always, when I'm referring to a line, draw a line above my 2 points. So you can see here, I can name it line RS with a line above, or line SR with a line above. So naming this plane, as you can tell, right here is the plane. Okay, as you can see, there are multiple different lines within the plane, but I want to name the actual plane. So first of all, I can see that there's an italicized letter right here, which is the name of the whole plane. So I could call it, I'm going to write it down here, plane S. This could be called plane S. I also know that when I'm naming a plane, any 3 points, sorry about that, I have a dog, any 3 points make a plane. So I could call it plane E, U, and L. Because those 3 points are in a plane. I can also call it plane H, let's say H, L, and E. So these are different ways I can name this plane. So now, points that lie on the same line are called collinear. Notice the word line is talking about collinear. So K, L, and M are collinear. The reason they are collinear is all of these points lie on the same line. You can see there's point K, point L, and point M. Okay? Now, point K, L, and N are non-collinear. So you can see here, point N does not lie on that line. Therefore, it is non-collinear. So any points on the same line are known to be collinear. So, are points L and E collinear? There is point E and point L. Now, when we're talking about collinear, we're talking about a line. So, as you can see, the word line is right in the middle. Do E and L, do they lie on the same line? They do not. They lie on the same plane, but they do not lie on the same line. So these are not collinear. Are points H, N, and U coplanar? Notice, they're asking if they lie on the same plane. You can see the kind of the word plane in there, or planar. Okay? So there is point H, here is point N, and here is point U. Now I see H and U all lie on this plane. I'm going to refer to this plane as plane S because there's the italicized letter. But I notice that point N does not lie on that plane. Therefore, these 3 points are not coplanar because N does not lie on the plane. Now, are points M, B, I, and O coplanar? So let's see. Point M is right there. Point B is right here. Point I, you can see, is all the way over here. And point O is right there. Now I can see everything that lies in the plane should lie, and you can see the italicized letter there, on plane R. I can see here that I does not lie on the plane. Therefore, all of these points are not coplanar. They do not all lie on this plane. So now it says, name a plane that contains 3 non-collinear points. So I want to give this plane a name. I can name it a few things. First of all, I can see the italicized letter, so I can name that plane R. I'm going to write it down for you right here. I can call this plane R. Right there. Okay. Now, but it wants me to name this plane by 3 non-collinear points. So I can see here that G and H are linear. They make a line, but F is not on that line. Okay? So I can name this plane G, H, and F because they all lie on this plane, but they are not collinear because F does not lie on that line. So I would call it plane GHF. So here are two names to name that plane. Okay, so now I see a plane right here, plane S. You can see the italicized letter. But it wants us to know what is another way to name line L. Here's line L. You can see the italicized letter. They want to know another way to name this. There's a lot of different ways to name it. When you name a line, you're always using 2 points to name that line because 2 points make a line. So I could call this line HL, right there, HL. I could call this line HU. I could also call this line LU. So I'll write it down for you. I could call this line UL, line LH, line UH. These are all ways to name that line. I could also go the other way. I could call it line HU. Notice I put 2 points and then I put a line on top of it to name the line. All right.